Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker, and today we're going to be talking about I don't like to use clickbait thumbnails. Usually I put a description of what somebody did or somebody said. I put it out there. On this thumbnail, let me get recording so you can see. On this thumbnail, I couldn't do that. Why? Because a man's wife, who was a prison guard, who is not unattractive, she doesn't look like she's a bottom of the barrel scraper, although I don't know what she looks like without her makeup, so maybe she's just really good at makeup. Anyway, she ends up participating in good times with a prisoner, and sounds like she had a relationship with him, and she does it in front of 11 other prisoners. What I'm going to do for this video and probably other videos going forward is I don't want to record them twice. I want to record them once. But for my local subscribers, I am going to post the unedited video where I use all the fun words. And instead of using my fun words here, I'm just going to edit them out. Or instead of using my instead of using my safe words, I'm just going to edit them out. And then, so if you want the full unedited stuff, and if you see jump cuts, it's because I got on a tirade that I can't talk about here on YouTube because they've already dinged me once for this stuff. It's going to be over on for subscribers over on my local betterbachelor.locals.com. I'm not trying to punish you guys. You're still going to get the same content as always right here on YouTube. I'm just giving a little extra to the people that are supporting me over on Locals. So please think of it that way. And for those of you that want to call me a grifter because I'm doing that, please look up the term grifter. I think you've got it wrong. And hey, you know what? I do someday want to get off YouTube. And so it is what it is. I'm not going to mention this before every video. I'm just really pushing my betterbachelor.locals.com hard because YouTube is coming down on me and I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So I'm just looking out for myself. All right, moving on. So what did she do? First, let's do our one single loss of the day. Loss for the woman, good on the man, and then we'll get right into the story, and then we'll talk about our dating profile for the day. Loss of the day from Sharon Godwin. She says, after 2 months of talking, I told this guy yesterday that I wasn't ready for a relationship, and he responded with, "It's been great, hope you have a good one," and then he blocked me. No effort, no pressure applied. I'm devastated. Now here's the thing. Number one, after 2 months of talking, dude, you're wasting your breath. Like, it should be, if you're going to talk back and forth a little bit and go in for a date, go for it. You know, that's just chatting away. You become her BFF, and you're something to do while she's bored for the day, and that's how she's going to use you. She may have just put you in the friend zone. So get to it. You pass a couple of messages, ask her out if you're going to ask her out. Don't waste your time. But he did the right thing. She said, I'm not ready for a relationship. He wanted a relationship. And he said, hey, it's been great. And he bailed and then blocked her. And no effort, no pressure. See, women they say, I don't want to be pressured. I don't want to be pushed. I don't want men to continue to chase me. And so guys are learning and they say, okay, you don't want a relationship? I'm out. Well, she's devastated. Hey, there is no more chasing. There is no more doing the dance. Guys are just done with this stuff. And that's that. So you get what you deserve. Sorry to hear that. Guys, do keep this in mind, that I would suggest, at least the way everything's going today, it's a good idea to be casual. It's a good idea. Hey, if you want to date even long-term casual, I'm okay with that. No cohabitation, no marriage that's going to get you in trouble with somebody. But if you meet a woman that does the easy thing, she just wants the hookup culture and you're looking for something real, don't even mess with it, because that's the type of girl that says, hey, you know what? This guy did this, and I'm going to report him for that, and you get yourself in trouble. So good on this guy for bailing on her. And hey, ladies, you get what you asked for. Okay, so this is the main story. Again, if you hear lots of audio dropout, if you see some cuts, please understand. I have to do so for YouTube. It is what it is. Who is Tina Gonzalez? Depraved prison guard who cut the hole in her pants to have sex with an inmate gets jail time. Now, she's 26 years old. Tina Gonzalez, 26, was arrested last year following an investigation prompted by a tip that she was having intercourse with a male inmate and even provided him with a cell phone. A California corrections officer. Why is it always California or Florida or Germany? A lot of these weird teacher and correction officer stories are coming out of very liberal states, shall we say. A California corrections officer who had sex with an inmate has been sentenced to serve 210 days in jail. So not even a year for a prison guard giving an inmate contraband and other items, including her. The sentence was delivered on Tuesday by Judge Michael Idar in Fresno County following testimony by the prison guard's former boss. Tina Gonzalez, 26, who worked as a corrections officer from 2016 to 2019, was arrested on May 1st last year after an investigation by the Sheriff's Office Vice Unit and the department's Internal Affairs Division. The probe was prompted by a tip in December 2019 that she was having sex with one of the male inmates and also provided him with a cell phone. She cut a hole in her uniform to have sex with the inmate in front of other inmates. Investigators found the phone during a search of the inmate's cell, and Gonzalez quit the sheriff's office after being interviewed by detectives. Gonzalez pleaded no contest to a felony count of sexual activity by a detention facility employee with consenting confined adult, a felony count of possession or drugs of alcoholic beverage in a jail facility, and a misdemeanor count of possession of cellular device with intent to deliver to an inmate, according to Assistant District Attorney Steve Wright. Okay, let's pause here for a minute. So she had a felony count of sexual activity. She had a felony count of possession of drugs and alcoholic beverage, and a misdemeanor count of possession of cellular device, which she gave to an inmate. 2 felonies and a misdemeanor, and she got less than a year. Less than a year. In the same token, you'll hear a little bit more, but she did this activity in front of 11 or 12 other prisoners. I'm sorry, but at this point, you basically sound like a dog, like a in heat that is just literally sticking your up in the air to get whatever male, I don't know, insertion that you can. And she's 26. And again, you can say what you want to say, but if this girl went out to a bar, now again, I don't know what she looks like without makeup, but with makeup, if you went out to a bar and saw this girl, you'd be like, yeah, she's pretty good looking. Like, she'd have no problems hooking up with anybody. But again, it's the bad boy, it's the forbidden fruit, and she just decided to go for it. So she cut a hole in her pants, probably along the seam in her crotch. So I guess she could maybe either hook up with a dude quickly or back up to the bars. I just picture her like bending over, backing her ass up against the bars, and the prisoner having at it until he gets off. Because there's no condoms in prisons. It's not like maybe she's on birth control or something, but the whole point is this prisoner's going raw dog in her and dropping a in her, and he's just a prisoner. She's a guard. Now here's the part that it starts getting pretty bad. According to Gonzalez's former boss, Assistant Sheriff Steve McComas, Gonzalez not only had sex with the inmate and provided him with a cell phone, but also gave him razor blades, a potential weapon behind bars, and warned him about future cell inspections by officers. McComas added that Gonzalez cut a hole in her uniform to make it easier to have intercourse with the inmate, and her actions were witnessed by 11 other inmates. So here's the thing. She could have really potentially been nabbed and hit with a felony for giving him a razor, which is also a weapon. I mean, how depraved is this? And again, this is the bad boy. This is the bad boy. They can't help themselves sometimes. Now here's... they continue on. Cutting a hole in your pants to make it easier to have sex with an inmate and having intercourse in full view of 11 other inmates is something only a depraved mind could come up with, McComas said. That's why I feel like she was acting like a bitch in heat, just backing it up and like just pump and dump, baby, just go for it. Gonzalez's attorney, Martin Teliznik, claimed her marriage was falling apart when she committed the acts. It was never her intention to bring any harm or danger to the employees in the jail or anyone else in the jail, says Teliznik, for bringing him a cell phone and bringing him drugs and bringing him alcohol and basically him in front of 11 other prisoners. And, the razor could have been used as a weapon. I'll just finish reading this and then we're going to talk about it. What you did was terrible, stupid, and you have ruined your career, Judge Idiart told Gonzalez in court. But I also believe that people can redeem themselves, and you have the rest of your life to do that. She faced a maximum of 3 years and 8 months, and she got basically 16 months. She didn't even get that. She got 40 days, 70 days. So she got basically 2/3 of a year for this. Now, number one, all the reasons I just mentioned before why this is a very big problem. Number two, she was married, and the lawyer for her used the excuse that she was going through a tough time in a marriage. Now listen, a tough time in the marriage still means she was married. This probably also means that I bet her husband was probably trying to work on it with her, because we know many, many times guys are like, man, I was doing all the right things and I treated her well and I jumped through all the hoops she asked me to do, but she was being unreasonable. Now, I don't know about you, but let's flip this on its head. Let's say this was a male prison guard. I apologize for the road behind me. I can only do so much. Let's say this was a male prison guard, and he was banging a female prisoner, right, without protection, and he even, cut a hole in her, or she even cut a hole in her prisoner uniform to make it easier for her to bend him over. The male guard brought a female prisoner drugs, alcohol, a cell phone, razor, all this other stuff, and continued to bang her even after he got caught. Do you think they would go lightly on him and give him less than the recommended time of 16 months? And basically give him, 8 months, something like that? No, of course not. They would throw that male guard underneath the jail. But it's another thing of not only is a woman doing something depraved, and if a man did the same thing, he would get more time. She got less time, and she still tried to blame it on her husband because they were going through a tough time. Taking one's own actions into accountability for this woman. And I'm doing more and more stories on this stuff because there's guards that are doing it, there's educators that are doing it with students, there's just a bunch of stuff that's going wrong. And as long as they're not punished, as long as they're let free, they don't hear the horror stories of what's happened to other people that have done the same thing. They're reading it and they're like, 12, less than 12 months in jail, 8 months, 6 months, whatever. But for this guy, I guess I'll do it. Maybe it's not that, or maybe I won't get caught, but if I do get caught, it's not that big a risk. And they do it. And this is what happens when you sentence people to for lesser crimes. You sentence women less often. You give them shorter jail time. And at 26 years old, she's done this. So again, this is just a case where it really makes me wondering not only what's happening to society, what is happening to women. And these are the same, women that they're saying, oh, we need more equality. We need to get women into the workplace. Well, you're getting them into the workplace, and here's what happens because there's dozens of stories about female guards being with prisoners. So don't put female guards in a male prison. I'm pretty sure you probably don't have male guards in female prisons. That would be an interesting thing to look up. All right, let's move on to the dating profile of the day. All right, this gal is very pregnant, and she's sitting here in underwear and in what looks to be a sports bra, showing off her body. She says she's 25 years old, and she says, yes, I'm pregnant, but I'm still very fun. Yes, I'm sure you are very fun. That's probably why you're very pregnant, and the guy is not in the picture anymore. That's what happens when you're a lot of fun, when you're still very much fun. She says, I'm looking for quick hookups with guys or girls. I'm very horny all the time, LOL. If you're a guy, I will let you nut inside. Here's the thing. You, dear, are now what many men refer to as a... And that just means that you will take anything and everything and you let every guy just without any protection. Now, yes, no, you can't get pregnant, but you can still get STDs. And I believe some of those STDs, if gone undetected by the time you have your kid, which would be sometime soon based on the picture of you, can harm your kid. But here's the thing. There are desperate men that would look and go, she's got big boobs because she's pregnant. And before I blurred her face, I wouldn't say she was exceptionally unattractive. But there are a lot of guys that are like, hey, wet hole, I'm going to go for it. And the thing is, fellas, that if you are one of the types that do this and you think, hey, at least I get to go raw dog it, guess what else you might not catch a kid, but there's a very good chance you're catching whatever somebody else had that she also let her raw dog, because apparently she's very horny all the time, and she's going to just let anybody. I mean, they're just using her as a whole at this point. That's what men, at least many men, myself one of them, would call you. You're just a masturbation device at this. But good job and good way looking out. You're going to make a great single mother, and someday when she's 25 now. Imagine this being 33, and she's the girl that wants to settle down. Yeah, she's a single mom. She has a kid, but she's got her life together, and she's the girl that says, "But I'm a good catch." No, I don't think so. You ruin yourself when you do. Not only do you ruin your mental ability, your ability to pair bond. You're gross. You're just gross. And too many men. This is why guys want girlfriends that have only had one, maybe two partners, or no partners. They want to date younger women. They want to date women without kids. They don't want to date women with all their baggage, because by the time she's in her 30s, she may be dateable, but she's unlovable. She'll never love a guy. It's just sad. But this is gross. Not only is it sad, but it's gross. I feel bad for her, and I feel worse for her kid, and I feel bad for any dude that someday thinks he's found a good catch and he ends up settling down with her. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you have, thank you very much. Best way you support me is like, comment, share, subscribe. Join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com, where you'll find all my content unedited. It is a free speech forum. You can talk about the jab, the poke, the bug, the politics, women, men, whatever. You just talk about whatever. It's your forums. I'm keeping it open as long as there's really no threats to anybody, which I've never seen yet. You just post what you want, and if somebody posts something you don't like, tough shit. There's not going to be any censorship. You're just going to have to deal with it, talk it out like adults. Maybe you'll learn something. Who knows? I will leave it there. Guys, this is Better Bachelor, and remember, women are depraved nowadays. Women are not all women are depraved nowadays, but many of them are making some really poor life choices. And even if you're a great guy, don't get suckered in, because you may think you found a catch, and one of these poor life choices are exactly who you may end up dating.